Hey guys, welcome to the Diabetic Toolbox. My name is Renee, and in today's training, we are going to talk about how you can love your body while you are managing a chronic illness. So let me just share my screen. And I'm going to have to put my glasses on, guys, because I see nothing without my glasses. I apologize in advance for the glare, but if you guys have a solution to glare on video, then please let me know what that is. I will be happy to hear any comments or suggestions. So like I said, today's training is entitled 10 Ways to Love Your Body When Dealing with a Chronic Illness. And this is something that is near and dear to my heart because body image is something that can really suffer when you are, managing a chronic illness. I know that when I was managing my pre-diabetes, pre-hypertension, high cholesterol, and obesity, my body image plummeted. And I cannot even repeat to you some of the things that I said to myself, but some of the PG things that I said, and maybe you said them to yourself too, is how could I let this happen to me? Why did it happen to me? Just very negative things. And studies have shown that the way we think is a really integral part of our healing process. So my hope is that you will take one or a couple of the strategies that we talk about today and begin to implement them immediately. As a coach, one of the first things that I work on with my clients is to help them improve their body image. So if you are struggling right now, know that you are in a safe space, and also it's going to be okay. Hopefully these tips will help you to fall in love with your body again. It can happen. So in today's training, we are going to cover exactly what is a chronic illness. And I am going to share with you 10 strategies to help you improve your body image. I also want to talk to you just a little bit about why body image is important in the healing process. So a little bit about me. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Renee. I am a certified coach and yoga teacher and the host of the Diabetic Toolbox podcast. So if you guys are listening on the podcast, I'm actually recording this as a video. So if you'd like, you can watch it on our YouTube channel. I am on a mission to reduce the number of amputations and the number of people who die each year due to complications from type 2 diabetes. So on this show, you will learn tools and tips that will help you if you are pre-diabetic or if you have a history of diabetes in your family, or if you just are struggling with any type of chronic illness. The tips that I give you will be able to, you can use them no matter what you're struggling with. My goal is to help people lose weight, heal their mindsets, and strengthen their bodies using walking and yoga. So if you are ready to heal, connect, and grow, then you, my friend, are in the right place. Before we get started, though, I want to invite you to download our new book, The Courageous Woman's Guide to Stop Thinking Like a Victim. This is the second book in our Courageous Woman series. Our mindsets, or the way we think, play such an important role in our healing progress. And so I hope that you will download this book. It is an ebook and a workbook. And when you download them, you also get a free 45-minute coaching session with me. So I look forward to talking to all of you. Now, I don't have to say this, but I do have to say this. The information that I will be sharing in this training is for informational purposes only and should not replace the advice of a licensed medical caregiver. Now, on with the show. You know, feeling positive about your body can be really challenging no matter what age you're at. But if you are a person in midlife and you are struggling with a chronic illness, it can be very challenging. You might be feeling like I did, like your body has betrayed you. You might find yourself comparing yourself to your healthier past self and longing to get back to the way you used to be. These studies have shown that having a negative body image can lead to anxiety, depression, and trouble in your relationships. We don't want that. But I do want you to know that it is okay to mourn and to feel sad. This is all part of the healing process. Because not only are you mourning for the body you had, but you're also mourning for the life that you envisioned for yourself. No one wakes up saying, oh my gosh, I can't, when I get diabetes, this is how I'm going to, plan my life. Or when my doctor says, your numbers don't look as good as we'd hope, and you have hypertension, high cholesterol, or, heart disease, nobody plans for that. So it's okay to mourn a little bit and to be sad. And don't let anyone tell you not to. I know that we should have some gratitude in our life and incorporate gratitude as part of our healing strategies, but it's also okay to feel sad. And sometimes you will feel sad and you want to allow yourself to go through that emotion and not stop it or pretend it doesn't happen or it's not happening. So in this training, I'm going to show you 10 ways to love the body you have right now so that you can create the beautiful life that you were intended to live. Now, what is a chronic illness? So the CDC defines a chronic illness as a condition that lasts more than a year or a year or more and requires ongoing medical attention, or it limits your activity of daily living, or both. Chronic illnesses can include diabetes, heart disease, strokes, hypertension, arthritis, depression and anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, and that's just to name a few. There are literally hundreds of chronic illnesses. But what I want you to know is that regardless of which chronic illness you've been diagnosed with, you can love your body regardless of how it looks right now, how it functions right now, or whatever your current state is. So we're going to go over these 10 strategies. And remember, you don't have to use all of them. I mean, if you choose to, that would be amazing, but you don't have to. I would suggest that you pick one or two, incorporate them into your daily routine, and then when you feel comfortable, add another one. So the first thing we're going to talk about is don't forget about your mental health. You know, a lot of times when we are diagnosed with any type of illness, we and our physicians forget that this can be emotionally and mentally challenging for us. And studies show that folks who are diagnosed with a chronic illness are more susceptible to conditions like anxiety and depression. Now, this could be for a number of reasons. It could be because you're having trouble managing your symptoms. You are, trying to find a treatment option that works for you. Your medication has side effects. I know that was the case with my mom. She had one condition, and then the medication that they gave her created, plummeted the way her body was able to use insulin in her, and so she became type 2 diabetic. And the other thing is that if your body is not functioning the way that it used to, that can be very stressful on the way you think about your prospects for a happy life. So like I said, anxiety and depression are two of the most common mental health issues associated with chronic illness. So if you find that you are feeling sad for longer than 2 weeks, if you are losing interest in your family or other activities, or if you have this overwhelming sense of hopelessness, please make sure that you document those symptoms and that you talk them over with your doctor so that together with your medical team, they'll be able to address them. We want to have reasonable expectations of what it is our body can do. This is our new normal. It's like living with COVID. We have a new normal now. And when you are diagnosed with a chronic illness, you're going to have a new normal. So you want to have reasonable expectations. That doesn't mean that you set the bar low and have no expectations at all, but it does mean that you temper your expectations with where your physical, emotional, and spiritual health is at the moment. The second thing that we're going to talk about is focusing on a weight that feels good. Now, when my doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic, I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to lose weight. She said, and I quote, "We're going to try to, fight this with diet and exercise, but if that doesn't work, you're going to have to go on medication." And the last thing I wanted to do was to go on medication. So I wanted to lose weight, but instead of focusing on a weight that felt good, I was trying to literally starve myself so that I could get those pounds off of me. And I don't want you to do that. Now, you might think you look better at a lower weight, but if you don't feel good, then who's it helping? No one. And while losing weight may help you relieve some of your symptoms, you want to choose the healthiest body weight that also makes you feel good. Number 3, focus on what you can do. I used to be a runner. I ran in 5Ks and 10Ks. And when I realized that, A, because I was now a middle-aged woman, but also because I was an overweight middle-aged woman, that I wasn't going to be able to run again, I was devastated. And walking was, in my mind, not an option. Walking was for people who couldn't run. right? But now I was one of those people. And so walking was actually the way that I lost my weight. Just a simple walking program helped me to reduce my pounds, helped me to manage my stress, and helped me to focus on what my body could do. I knew that I could walk, I could do yoga, I could lift weights, nothing complicated, but just a simple exercise plan to help me lose the weight and get healthy. Nobody's body is perfect for every activity. And when you are, and that's even when you're at your healthiest. But when you are struggling with a chronic illness diagnosis, just know that you are just where you are supposed to be at that given moment and work from there. So number 4 is really hard for a lot of us, even, in our best times, but it can be really difficult when you have a chronic illness. And that is to identify 3 of your best physical features. So this exercise, you might want to skip it, but I hope you don't. You have to look in the mirror and find something that you like about yourself. You're going to write them down, and then you're going to put the list where you can see it often. And the reason that you're going to do this is because you want to remind yourself of these features each day. So you might have beautiful eyes, you might have a beautiful smile, you might have gorgeous legs. You want to remember those things and focus on those things and play up those aspects of your body while you work on everything else. Number 5 is so important, so important. Many times when we get diagnosed with a chronic illness, we stop moving, and that is the last thing that you want to do. You want to stay active. Physical activity feels good. And research shows that when we continue our movement, we will have a positive body image, a more positive body image than people who don't. So, as I said before, your exercise plan does not have to be complicated. You can include a walk around your neighborhood or a gentle yoga class. Both of these will make you feel stronger. And true story, when I was diagnosed with prediabetes, I was overweight and my dog was overweight. I have an English bulldog named Winston. He's a cutie. But Winston was hit almost at 80 pounds. And you know that their legs are only this big. So I would take him to the vet, and the vet would look at me like, what are you feeding him? He has to lose weight. He could barely move. His joints ached so bad. I feel so bad even telling you that now. But he was overweight. My joints ached because I was overweight. But just walking around the block with him, and then as my strength grew and his strength grew, we were able to go longer and longer distances. Now he's at a healthy 45 pounds, and I'm at a healthy weight. I'm not going to tell you what, but I'm at a healthy weight, and have been able to reverse my prediabetes and my prehypertension and reduce my cholesterol just from walking, eating healthy foods, and doing yoga. So much so that I became a certified yoga teacher and a health coach so that I could help other people do the same. Now, I wanted to, instead of saying avoid comparing yourself to others, I really wanted this side to be delete your social media. But we live in a world of, where we are connected by Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and all of the things, right? So what I want you to do is, if you cannot delete or disconnect from social media, to avoid comparing yourself to other people. Comparing yourself to someone else is going to result in you feeling bad about yourself. It happens every single time. Not one time do we look at somebody on a beach or a couple holding hands or, someone who just got a new job or whatever it is. I mean, we're happy for them, but then in the same instance, we're saying, man, why isn't that me? Or that should be me. Or I'm so far behind now because I've had this setback with my health. So avoid comparing your life to anyone else's. Everyone's body is different, whether they have a chronic illness or not. I love this picture. Water is something that is very calming to me. And so I had to include this picture. Number 7, avoid taking daily inventory of your body. You know those weight loss programs that say, weigh yourself every day? I'm going to say, don't do that. Don't weigh yourself every day. Don't take the measuring stick out or the measuring tape out and measure yourself every day. Don't look in the mirror every day and check to see, what's happening with certain parts of your body. I always encourage my clients, if they have to do that, to do it once a week at most. So once a week, you can weigh yourself, you can take your measurements if that's your thing, but you want to avoid taking daily inventory of your body. When we do that, we put all of our attention on those parts of our body that are not working the way we want. So, like I said, cut down how many times you check out a specific part of your body each day. If you have to, measure it or weigh in or whatever it is, try to do it once or twice a week. And the other reason is because you have more important things to do than to weigh yourself or to measure yourself. Your life is still going. You still have a family, you still have a job, you still have people who love you and you want to interact with them. Now, this is something that literally saved my life. Meditating or praying daily, or both. I like to read a scripture and then meditate on that scripture for a few moments each day. I write it out in my journal and read it to myself. This is how I reduce my stress level. And I think if there was one thing or one of these tips that I would advise you to do immediately, this would be one of them. Because if you find yourself obsessing over your body and how it looks and how it's functioning, then meditation and prayer can help you to clear your mind and refocus. And that's what you want to do. You won't be able to stop the thoughts from coming, but prayer and meditation is a really powerful and simple tool to help you to refocus those negative thoughts. You can try doing this a few minutes each day, And I promise you that if you are consistent, it is going to make a big difference in your emotional health. Number 9, try affirmations. So I have a couple of affirmations that I have hanging in my bathroom, and I read them every morning. But an affirmation is just a saying, a positive saying that you repeat to yourself. And it doesn't have to be anything big or long, but saying positive things to yourself will make you feel better and break up that tape that is playing in your head of negative thoughts. So your positive statement could be something, or positive affirmation could be something as simple as, I am strong. That's it. When those negative thoughts start to bombard you, remind yourself that you are strong. Or maybe you say, I win. I'm a winner. I win. And say that over and over to yourself until you feel it deep down in your spirit. The last thing we're going to talk about is being respectful of your body. You know, sometimes we have these chronic illnesses because we weren't respectful of our bodies. We didn't take proper care of them. And because of that, they're sick. But that doesn't mean that you have to beat yourself up about it. It just means that you have to take action to make them better. So the first thing you want to do is to have a healthy dose of respect for the body that you have. When you treat your body respectfully, you will think more highly of yourself. This is all part of your self-care routine. So self-care is not just a mani-pedi or a new haircut or, trimming your beard if you're a man. Self-care is taking the emotional look at your body, at your mind, at where you are spiritually and physically, and connecting all of those together to create a plan that works for you. So you want to make sure that you are eating healthy foods, that you are getting enough rest, and that you're exercising regularly. Now, these are, 3 things that are really important because if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to get in shape, these 3 things are going to help you do that. You want to treat your body like it matters. A negative body image affects people of all ages, but it can be very daunting when you have a chronic illness. And while this occurs more commonly in women, men can also suffer from this challenge. So remember that everyone deserves to feel good about themselves, and that includes you. Be appreciative of the body you have. I don't know why my voice is going out, but I hope you guys can hear me. I'm so sorry. Your body may need some extra attention right now, but when you love it, it will love you back. Period. As my kids say, period. No, I'm just kidding. But the reason that having a healthy body image is so important, because when you love your body, you'll make sure that you heed your medical advice, that you will take your medications as prescribed, and that you will increase your self-care to epic proportions. And remember this before we go. Self-care is not selfish. I know that that's the saying now, and it's trending, and everybody's, making posts about it. But I don't think that we are really taking it in and understanding that this is a real thing. That if you do not take care of yourself, you cannot take care of others. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. And please download the workbook that comes with this video. It will be in the link below if you are watching on any of my social media pages or on YouTube. If you're watching on Instagram, the link will be in my profile. And guys, do me a huge favor. Please share this video with someone you love. Someone out there is hurting right now, and this could be just the boost they need to keep going. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow the Diabetic Toolbox podcast and blog. And remember, guys, this is my favorite saying. My grandmother, Leona, used to tell me this. You are stronger than you give yourself credit and more blessed than you know. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. And let me know what you thought of this video. I'm going to try to do, I guess I could take my glasses off now. I'm going to try to do a video every 5 days a week. That's my goal, because I have so much information that I want to share with you guys. And this is really important to me that I get this information out. The CDC predicts that by 2050, 1 in 3 Americans will be diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3. And if you're like me, you know someone or maybe a couple of people in your family, at work, or somewhere, you know, in your space that has been diagnosed with this disease. I just got my Invisalign, so now I'm talking like Daffy Duck. Sorry. But, you know, that's daunting. 1 in 3 people, right? And so many people in the US have not 1, but 2 or more chronic illnesses, 2 or more. So we really have to get the word out, guys, about being healthy, about taking control of our health. You know, no more passive stance. The one thing that COVID taught us was that we have to be mindful of our health. And I am going to get off my soapbox now. But thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful day.